All right, in this video, we're going to be talking about circle angle relationships. We already know that a secant must go through the circle twice, and a tangent touches the circle at one point. So what types of angles can be formed by a combination of two secants, two tangents, a secant, and a tangent, and how does that relate to the angle measure? So one type that we may have is we may have where the angle is on the circle. And obviously this is made up of two secants. And we know if the vertex is here touching the circle, that means that the angle, that's supposed to be a 1, the measure of angle 1 must be half the measure of the arc it intercepts. So we'll make that arc AB. So the measure of angle 1 is 1/2 the measure of arc AB. And again, that's true anytime you see the vertex on the circle. So you're looking at the position of the vertex. If it's on the circle, it's 1/2 of the arc that is intercepting. Or if you're thinking of this as a mouth, there's our Pac-Man, the arc that it's chomping, half of that. Sometimes we have the intersection inside the circle. So if we're looking here and they're intersecting here inside the circle, there's our vertex. It creates pairs of the vertical angles here. In this case, we'll make this angle 1. We know that the measure of angle 1, got to put some letters, A, B, C, D. The measure of that must be 1/2 the sum of the arcs. And we'll call arc AD X and arc BC Y. That makes sense for you. And we also have when the intersection point is here outside the circle. So let's make one a secant and one a tangent. And of course you could have two secants or you might have two tangents as well to create this. So when we're looking at this outside, here's our angle 1. Let's call this arc here our X arc, and then this arc over here our Y arc. In this case, the measure of angle 1 is equal to half the differences of the arcs. So the Y is the larger arc, and I'd subtract X from it. And that's how I could find the measure of angle 1. So hopefully that is helpful as you are working through your 10.6 work. To prove, okay, overriding just a little bit, because there's one piece that you may run into that you would have to use a little bit of brain power. So I want to make sure I point it out. So let's say here, I've got two tangents. I've got X, Y, Z, and I tell you that I've used up 95 degrees in here, and I'm asking you just for the measure of angle X. Well, since we have it out here, we know that it is 1/2 the difference of the arcs. But we've only got 95 given. Well, guess what? To get the other piece, that's the rest of the circle. So 360 minus 95 will give you the measure of the other arc. And then you could obviously take the difference of those two and find the 1/2 of it. Just wanted to point that out. Hopefully that made sense to you. To prove that you watched this video, tell me the favorite cartoon or Disney or Nickelodeon style show that you watched when you were in kindergarten or first grade.